that odious stench? Smells like...
Alright, let's do this. You're watching Hymns of My Wake. Today I've got a collection update for you, along with a little bit of VCLT from the Dreadful Minutes from Rick Contreras. Very grateful for what he sent me over. Some pretty cool stuff that I'm going to show you. We'll start with what he sent me. Well, first we'll start with what's playing behind us or in the background. This is Cold World, The Stars Are Dead Now. This is Cold World's debut album. This is a reissue put out in 2014. I can't remember the exact year it came out, but I want to say it was about 10 years before this, somewhere in that range, mid-2000s. The reissue is put out through MAA Productions. I'm unfamiliar with them. It was licensed through Wolfscrim. Right there in the corner, if I can... Whatever, that doesn't matter. Yeah. Cold World is a one-man DSBM with a bit of like ambient elements mixed in, based out of Germany. So yeah, that's playing in the background. That's Cold World, The Stars Are Dead Now. So let's talk about what Rick sent over. So first of all, he was kind enough to throw in this John Stockton basketball card. Little did Rick know, he knows I'm here in Utah, and that I'm a Jazz fan, but he probably was unaware that Stockton is probably my all-time favorite player. So it's super cool of him to send this over. Let's see. Sent me over a few CDs. Let's start off with Word, Rhoda. This came out in 2005. It's Finnish black metal with a bit of like folk elements, melodic. It's very melodic. Put out by Millennium Music. This is one of my, the first listen I didn't really catch my attention much, but this was definitely a grower. It's got typical long atmospheric black metal songs where they're a little bit more mid-paced, and then it's interspersed with the shorter, faster songs throughout it. Yeah, highly recommend this one. Word, Rhoda. Yeah, I mentioned they were Finnish. Yeah, so that's that one. Again, this is the Negative Bias with Lamentation of the Chaos Omega. This is a debut record for these guys from 2016. They're from Austria. And the music on here is kind of what you're gonna guess from the cover. It's kind of atmospheric black metal with that cosmic, spacey feeling going on throughout. I got a little bit of Uada vibes in parts of this. Yeah, like the previous one. This one was definitely a grower as well. Definitely got better with each listen. You know, as a lot of stuff does. The more we listen to it, the more little nuance and such we pick up throughout the record. And then I actually sent this one over separate about a week and a half later. I'll explain that further in a second. This is Saros with Acrid Plains. This was again, I'd call it atmospheric black metal for the most part. The drummer from Saros is actually the drummer from Weakling, and the vocalist / guitarist, I think it was after this, went on to be in Vastum, which I think is a pretty successful death metal band in the scene right now. So yeah, you know, this came out in 2009. These guys were based out of the Bay Area, San Francisco. Put out on Profound Lore. It's got a bit of that, you know, early Cascadian feel to it. You know, having the drummer from Weakling. It's got a bit of that. Also a bit of a, to me, I picked up a little bit of like an Aglock vibe to it. Not that they were influenced by Aglock, but, you know, Aglock was influenced by Weakling, and the Weakling drummers on here. So yeah, the one problem I did have with this starting out was the clean vocals weren't. They were a little overused, I would say, but with each listen, you know, that became less and less of a issue for me. Got used to it, and yeah, really good release. Really enjoyed that one. And the reason he sent that over a week later, because I guess I believe he couldn't find it, so he actually had originally just burned a copy of that for me. Did really good work on that. He also sent me over a burned copy of Within Thy Wounds. This is really hard to find on, you know, to get the original copy. Small press, and really good, so it sold out right away. This is atmospheric black metal based out of Texas. I don't know if you can see that, but that pretty much sums it up. It says this was a Bandcamp kind of comment / review, and by Genghis Bong. It says, I can finally listen to Burzum without feeling guilty for listening to Burzum. So yeah, that's what you're getting here. Really good release. This was actually the first thing I listened to after I opened this up, because I opened it up and then I had to run some errands. So I just took these two burned copies with me, and the logo on this one kind of grabbed my attention more than this one. So I listened to this one first. Super good. I went ahead and purchased the digital copy. So yeah, that's all the CDs that Rick sent me, and then he also was kind enough to send me a record. And that record was Behold's Edition Plainsong by Dawn Raid. I'm sure most of you guys are pretty familiar with Dawn Raid. They're pretty big band on the scene right now. Some might call them controversial, because it's on silver vinyl. Yeah, if you're unfamiliar, they play like a anarchist, anti-fascist style of black metal. So you can see how that would ruffle some people's feathers. But yeah, this is a super good album. I'm going to talk about it a little bit further on a future video that I had planned. I actually already had a copy of this on black vinyl, but I believe I'm going to keep a hold of this copy that Rick sent me and forward my other copy on to somebody else that I think might enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this one on a little more on a future video. Be on the lookout for that. It's probably not coming too soon. Got a few other videos to shoot before that one. That one I'm going to talk about some albums that didn't really grab me on the first listen, but that yeah, you get the point. But that's a future discussion. So that's all the stuff that Rick sent over to me. Thank you very much, Rick, if you watch this. Really appreciate it. Next thing we're going to talk about is a little stack of CDs. I figured I'd put an order in on this. It was like a 4 CD Prosthetic Records grab bag. I think it was like $10 for 4 CDs with shipping, and I think I ended up paying less than $15 for all 4, which I don't know. There was a good deal. It was a deal nonetheless. I'd say it came out about even. I didn't feel ripped off, but I also didn't feel like I got my money's worth for the 4. Kind of explain why. So the biggest reason why is 3 of these I already owned. 2 of them I already owned on CD, so the new copies I'm gonna forward on to somebody, but I figure I might as well mention them here. And then the other one I already owned, I had on vinyl, so it's nice to have a second copy that's a little more that I can, play in the car, play in the CD player, whatever, in here, if I just don't want to pull out the vinyl. So we'll talk about these just real quick. First CD I got was Huntsman, American Scrap, and this is doomy, sludgy post-metal from Chicago. Then we got Set and Setting. This is a band out of Florida. It is just instrumental post-metal. I remember liking this one a good bit. I haven't listened to it in forever. I probably should have pulled them out and listened to them before I shot this, but oh well. This one, I actually have their second album as well. I think I like this one a little more than the second, but the second one is good as well. The one album I didn't own before, going back to the anti-fascist theme, is we got Neckbeard Death Camp here with So Much for the Tolerant Left. Not really a big fan of this CD. You guys all kind of know. I'm sure you guys know what Neckbeard Death Camp's all about. It's just not really my style of music of choice in the black metal genre, but they have some pretty good song titles and such in here, like Brooks Out for Harambe. Yeah, I'll keep this in the collection, give it a few listens, see if it grows on me, but I think I only listened to it once. I didn't care for it too much. I'll have to try it out again. And then the other album I got was Venom Prison, Samsara. Venom Prison, death metal with a little bit of a hardcore influence. I believe this came out in 2019. This was one of my would have made my top 20 if I'd made a top 20 video for 20 if I was making videos in 2019 and actually took the time to make a list. I did have a list on my phone just listing albums that were in contention for, you know, album of the year, and this was on there. But yeah, I think these guys are are Welsh, from Wales. But yeah, that's Venom Prison, Samsara. Recommend that one. I'm not going to try and describe it too much because it's kind of not my expertise genre, whatever you call it. Next up, we got a band that's pretty popular on the scene right now. We got 3 releases from Temple of Void. We got Lords of Death. I believe this is their debut. I should have done a little more research before I started the video, but I think that's their debut. I think they just have 3 full lengths out right now. We got the debut, I didn't say the name, Lords of Death. Then we got Of Terror and the Supernatural. And we have this year's release, The World That Was. Yeah, Temple of Void is a death doom band from Detroit. The singer is the guitarist from Acid Witch. Yeah. Death doom. And to me, there's a few different kind of sub genres. I don't know, not really genres, but little categories within death doom. You know, you got your kind of like your peaceful sound. You've got like your more melodic sound, maybe like your Swallow the Sun style, Draconian, that kind of more influenced by melodic death metal style, and then you have like your more death metal influenced, just like old school death metal influenced death doom, you know, like Asphyx style death metal, that kind of death doom. And that's more where these guys fit, is more towards the just old school death metal, death doom sound. So yeah, highly recommend these guys. The World That Was is likely going to end up on my end of year list. Really enjoyed that one. I'll mention this one before I forget about it. I also got the Unnatural, the name of this, The Afflicted Path to Cursed Putrefaction. A little compilation from featuring the vocals of Ken Escobedo of Ken's Death Metal Crypt. Yeah, super good stuff. Mid-paced, old school death metal. Mid to slower paced. I think my favorite part of the compilation is the Path to Ruin EP. Favorite song was probably Those Who Mourn. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, real good stuff from the boys in the Unnatural. Looking forward to see what they do next. We'll shift in a completely different direction. We've got Idle Hands out of Portland, Oregon. They since changed their name, and I couldn't tell you what the new name is, actually. I forgot to look that up before I shot the video. As you can see, I'm not as prepared as I should be for this, but life goes on. Yeah, this Idle Hands, Mana. 2019 release. If I had listened to it in 2019, it probably would have been one of my favorite albums of the year. This is put out on the Eisenwald. I guess I should have mentioned. I picked this up because from their web store for super cheap because they were having a sale where they were changing their because of the name change. I guess they got copyright cease and desist order or something for this name, so they changed it. This is a kind of goth rock mixed with heavy metal maybe. Killer vocals on here, really great melody to the voice and all that. Idle Hands, Mana. Check that one out if that sounds like something you'd be into. Okay. Everything so far, was either the VCLT or online orders. And the rest of this stuff is going to be stuff I picked up from the local record store recently. Let's start off with one of the early Binder and Recordings releases. We got Celestial with Desolate North. Celestial is a funeral doom band with a lot of kind of atmospheric elements going on. I think I've heard Marty refer to this album as where they really kind of found the label's niche. And if you're not familiar, Celestial is a project from Tanner from Obsequii. This is another one of his projects. Highly recommend checking them out if you haven't. As you can see, it's pretty old as far as like binder, and down there at the bottom it says a division of Worm Gear and Cryonic Mind. Yeah. Next up, we've got 2 releases from Departure Chandelier. These guys got quite a bit of hype last year with Antichrist Rise to Power, their 2019 release. I believe this is their first I think it's a full length. It could be no, it's a demo. It was a demo, I believe. This is The Black Crest of Death, The Gold Wreath of War. This one. These guys got a lot of hype last year. And I did listen to this once or twice last year, and I did like it. I did remember enjoying it quite a bit, but upon buying these CDs, I don't know, the hype just doesn't seem to live up to the hype that I remember it receiving. Which is weird because when I listened to it digitally in the past, I felt like it was something I needed to really get my hands on. So I don't know, maybe I'm just haven't been right in the right mood for these since picking them up, but they're not terrible. I enjoyed listening to them, but they just didn't hit me like I thought they would, especially this one. But we'll keep them around, listen to them again in the future, and see if they do a little something more for me. Alright, 2 more albums here. A couple of Swedish beasts. First up, we got. I'll take it out of the damn package. First up, we got the super group Bloodbath with last year's release. I think it was last year. Two years ago, 2018, I believe this one came out. Bloodbath, the arrow of Satan is drawn. Yeah, just some Swedish death metal here. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I don't think it's quite as good as their debut. That one's my favorite death metal albums of all time. But this one's solid. It's definitely worth listening to and having in the collection. And then going back quite a ways in the history of the Swedish scene, we've got a little box set for In Flames Subterranean. In Flames, one of the originators of the Gothenburg melodic death metal sound. Came with a little button. Yeah, just in case the glare, just says In Flames, and it's got Subterranean right on the bottom. Patch. Got the CD here. And then got a poster that I probably will never hang up or anything, but cool nonetheless. Super cheap. Well, not super cheap. This is like under $10, so I figured why not grab it for the collection. But yeah, this is Gothenburg melodic death, one of the early releases in the scene. I can't remember where this falls in their early discography, but super good. It's got four bonus songs on here, including a Metallica cover of Eye of the Beholder, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good. They do a pretty good job on that one. But yeah, that's In Flames Subterranean, and that has been this collection update. And again, Rick from the Dreadful Minutes, thank you once again for what you sent over to me. Yeah, you all take care of yourselves. We will see you next time, hopefully sooner than later.